डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar. I, Dr. Darshana Dalwadi, is welcoming you all to the lecture series of Master of Science Information Technology, Paper 105, Software Engineering, from the Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Dear learners, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about Block 1, Unit 3, that is Evolutionary Process Models. In previous lectures, we have discussed the points which were having the discussion of what is the meaning of process models, what evolutionary models we have, how many types of evolutionary models we are having. Then after we also discussed about prototyping model. As the name suggests, prototype, it is having prototypes which are released at different intervals of time and that are used as the original product. Then after we were having the second model, that is spiral model. In spiral model we were having a detailed working model of the software which was called as the build and is produced with the with a version number. Different version numbers we are having, and with it we were using the different software builds at different times. This we have already discussed. In spiral model, we are also having some points which are to be discussed, which we are going to see today. So let's see our today's agenda. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss upon spiral model, its advantages and disadvantages, concurrent development model, and specialized process model. Now spiral model we have discussed, so we are not going to see it in detail again, but as I explained you in brief, that what we are having in spiral models, we are having different builds which we are using, and different builds are showing the copy, means we can say the original software which we want to use. It represents it at different interval of times. Now we are going to see the advantages and disadvantages of spiral model. Spiral models are having number of advantages. First thing we can say, that is requirement changes can be accommodated. As we know that we are having different builds, suppose we are using one build and changes occurs, means the requirement for change is received. So in second build we can implement it, we can accommodate it. So requirement changes can be accommodated. Spiral model creates prototypes, making easier for customer and developer to understand implementation requirements. We are saying builds are there, but actually what builds are? Builds are nothing but the prototypes. It is giving the prototype to the customers as well as to the developer, which is helping them to have the understanding of the implementation of requirements. Then customer get the feel of software from the beginning of life cycle. And software modules having high risk can be developed earlier, which helps in better risk management. So these are the advantages we have of spiral model. With it, some disadvantages are also there. First disadvantage we can say is implementation and management of spiral model requires expertise. If you are not having expertise in management of software or implementation of requirements, then it is of no use of having this spiral model. One cannot predict duration of project completion during early stages. As we have builds here, you are not able to predict that at what particular time of project completion will be. So the project completion duration is not decided in spiral model, means we cannot decide it. It is not suitable for small or low risk projects and could be expensive for small projects. If you are having small project and the risk which are involved in the projects are low, then it is not advisable to use spiral models with it. As well as if your project size, if your software size is small, then to use spiral model will be expensive. It requires excessive documentation. So these are the disadvantages we have. After this, we are having another model called as concurrent development model. Now in concurrent development model, what we have? In it, we can say that during all the process models described previously, it is assumed that software development will be in a single stage at a given time. At a given time period, we can say it will be a single stage. Though we may have number of stages at a different time of periods. But when more than one teams are involved, software may be in different stages concurrently. One person is doing the whole task, then we can say at a time only one task will be in execution. But for one project, we are having number of teams and the work is divided among the team members. Then we cannot say that at one particular time of period, what is the process is getting executed. Why? Because we are having number of persons who are involved in it. So who is doing what work, that we cannot decide. Process will be divided into activities and activities will be divided into tasks. In concurrent development model, we will have one process which will be divided into number of activities. And that number of activities are divided into number of tasks. Each team may perform different activity or different task at a given time. Number of teams are involved who is working for this project. Each team may perform different activity or different task at a given time. For example, we can say modeling activity of a project is divided into number of tasks, which we are going to see in further discussion. How it is divided? Here you can see main activity we have, that is modeling activity. So learners, you can have the idea that how different activities will be which are divided into number of tasks. Here we have taken one example of model activity, means modeling activity. Now in this we can say that we are having different tasks. As you can see here, we are having square, which is representing the state of software engineering activity. Or we can say the task also. See here, first task or first state we have, that is inactive. Then after we have under development. Now in under development we are having further division of tasks, that is it is getting divided into two other tasks, under review and awaiting changes. Awaiting changes is having another task, that is under revision, while under review is having the task baselined. And at the end of all these tasks, means after completing all these tasks, the next thing or next task will be, that is done. Means after completing this number of tasks, it will come on the task which is having the name as done. And on completion of that done task, we will have the completion of this whole activity called as modeling activity here. Same like this, you may have different activities and different tasks for other activities. Like we can have it for designing activity, we can have it for testing, we can have it for implementation, deployment, and so on. So this is one thing which we need to apply. This is sample, you can say, which is given to you for understanding that how you can have different activities which are divided into steps, or we can say into states. So we can say that thus all activities of process model exist concurrently, but they may be different in different states. Simultaneously, see, when I gave you this example, I said that this is one example in which you have different states. Like that, you may have other activities like designing activity, planning activity, testing activity, deployment activity. All are executing concurrently. At the same time, you may have all this activity, but it may be in different states. Means modeling activity can be in different states, your designing activity can be in different states, and so on. Remaining activities can be in different states. That is what we are having in this model, that at a time you cannot say that all the activities which you have will be in same state. It may be in different states. One another example we have, that is, in a project, while communication activity was carried, modeling activity is in none stage. When communication is over, modeling activity moves in under development stage. At this stage, if there is a change in customers' requirements, modeling activity will move to awaiting changes state from under development state. Learners, see what we are discussing here. We are discussing that different states are there. One activity is moving from one state to another state, but it may go back also. It is moving forward as well as it is moving backward also. Each software engineering activity or task are defined through a series of events. These events will trigger transition from one state to another state. We are saying that it moves from one state to another state. But how it moves, when any event occurs, at that time only it moves from one state to another state. With this, we have some advantages which are like this. Concurrent process model is applicable to all types of software development processes. It provides an accurate picture of the current state of a project. As we have seen that it is having different states, so if you want to know that in which state my current activity is, then it will provide you the accurate result, means actual picture where actually the activity is, in which state it is, it will show that. For each activity or task, a network of activities are defined. Each task may exist simultaneously with other tasks. At the same time, simultaneously you can have two tasks which are in execution. With it, some disadvantages are also there. Which are they? First, we can say that it needs better communication between team members, which may not be achieved all the time. We are saying that different teams are working. So to have proper completion of your project, means in proper timing and in proper way, if you want to complete it, then communication is required. Otherwise, what will happen? One team is working, another team is working, but they are not communicating it with each other. Then the team 1 will not be able to know what team 2 is doing. and suppose team 2 is dependent on the work of team 1. It may happen in software that you may have dependencies upon the functions or the task. So proper communication is required. It requires to remember the status of different activities. Next thing we have, that is specialized process model. Now in specialized process model, what we are having, as the name suggests, we can say it is a specialized process model, means it will be used for specific software. In that we are having first one, that is component based development. Now in this, what we have actually, when we are having large and complex software, such type of software development requires management of reusable components and can be selected from component repository and assembled to obtain a working application. Component based development, this is the name of the software process model. As the name suggests, it is based on the component, means we have one component repository from which we are using the components which we require in our software, and after finding these components, we are assembling it, all that components together and obtaining a working application. Development of components and their assembly needs different approach from that of traditional software. As we discuss here, that we have component repository and we are using the components from it and assembling it, and after the assembly of different components we get working software, which we are not actually having this schema in traditional method. So apart from the traditional method of software development, we require different approaches which will be applied to do this task. Component based development is mainly focused on the concept of reusability. Repository is there from which we are using the components. It doesn't mean that once the component is used, the same component cannot be used in other software. So actually what we are doing, we are reusing the components which are already there in repository. So the concept here is reusability of the components. It focuses on this concept. It provides a cost-effective, fast and modular approach for developing complete software. Then after, we are saying that components are there, we are using component repository for finding the components, but what actually it is? What is the meaning of component? You can say a component is a software object which is intended to interact with other components, encapsulating certain functionality or a set of functionalities. In simple terms, you can say a thing or a part of software which is having some functionalities or set of functionalities which you are using to accomplish your task. This is the simple meaning of component. It has an obviously defined interface and conforms to a recommended behavior which is common to all components within an architecture. When we are reusing the component, the behavior of that component will be common to all, means whatever functionality we have chosen, the functionality which is chosen will be common for all. If you want some changes, you can do accordingly, but when you are selecting it from the repository, it will be as it is. It contains some characteristics. First characteristic we have, that is independent. Components are designed to have minimal dependencies on other components. We can say that number of components are there, but the components are designed in a manner that they are having less dependencies. Less dependencies is how useful to us. Suppose if one component is there in repository, to use that component you require 4 other components on which that component 1 is dependent. So if you are going to select that type of component, then you have to use that all remaining 4 components on which the first component is dependent. So every time it is not possible that when we have such component it will be easily accommodated in your software. It may create some issues. So the components are designed in a way that it is having minimum dependencies on other components. Then after we have reusability. As we have seen that the main focus of this component based development model is on reusability of components. Components are designed to be reused in various applications. Component is only one, but you may use it in number of software projects. Then we have replaceable. One components may be substituted with other similar components. Means you may have choices of replacement. Like suppose component 1 is there. If you do not want to use component 1, then you have the option for component 2. Then next one we have that is not context specific. Components are designed to operate in different applications and contexts. And another one we have that is extensible. Component can be extended from existing components. Suppose one component you have which you want in your software, but the requirement which you are having, that component is not fulfilling the requirement, but you want some extension to that requirement. So what you can do, you can have that component and the extensions which you want in your software you can apply after assembling in your software. You can do the modifications. So extensibility is also there in these components. Component based development is focusing on decomposition of the design into individual functional or logical components. Each function or component must have well-defined communication interface. Reusable components are incorporated in the software development. With it, we have some advantages of this component model, which is that due to readily available components we are using, efforts for developing new component is reduced, which saves time. Ultimately, the reusability of components are helping us in saving the time of software development, because already we just have to assemble it and we have to use it. So the time required to develop that component is reduced. So ultimately it will save the overall time of software development. As components are already developed and tested, they do not incur money for development, which reduces the project cost. Reusable components are not interdependent with other components, so they can be easily changed with other similar components. These all things we have discussed in its attributes, its characteristics. As we know that reusable components are there, interdependencies are very less. So we can have the components which can be replaceable. So that is also provided. So all these things are considered as its advantages. With it, some disadvantages are also there. Which are they? First one, when reusable components are not fully experienced, then incorporating them in software requires expertise, time and effort. Similarly, sometimes changes are required before incorporating reusable components in the software. But if these changes are minor, then it will not incur more time and effort. But suppose the changes which are required to be accommodated are large and complex, it incurs time and efforts. So it may cost as much or more than developing a new component. So these are the disadvantages we have. Now we are going to see whatever we have discussed, means we are summing up what we have discussed here. When we are having this software process model, in many software projects, we are having iterative nature and their requirements may change during the project progression. Evolutionary process models are accommodating these requirements in software development. While we are having another process models which are prototyping and spiral model, which are producing work products in increments. As we have discussed that it is providing us the increments, means one prototype, second prototype. In prototyping model we are calling it as a prototype, but in spiral model we are calling it as a build, which is a software only which we are giving to the users only to use, and the users are considering that part of software as the original one and they are using it, and if requirements are getting changed then they are suggesting, and in new build or in new prototype that changes are incorporated. Both the models are applicable to software projects of which requirements may change. Concurrent development model is useful when multiple teams are working on a single project. It allows activities to remain in different states concurrently. And component based model stresses on reusability of components. So this is what we have discussed in this unit 3, evolutionary process models. So today we are keeping up to this. Remaining things we will discuss in next lecture. Namaskar.
स्वाध्यायः